We're going all the way out to Los Angeles right now. Fox college basketball analyst Steve Lavin joins us on Shoot Around. Coach Lav, Big East hoops in full swing, conference tournament just a couple weeks away. What stands out to you about the league?
Well, I think the quality of play, also the depth of the league in terms of quality teams, and the fact that you've got a number of different styles of play that are effective. And as a result, come March, the NCAA Selection Committee is going to be putting a number of teams under the magnifying glass, looking at their body of work or their resume. And I think even when the NCAA came out this past Sunday with the number one seeds, that's an indication of just how strong this conference is. And even if you look at the bottom of the league, Georgetown with 5 wins, Patrick Ewing's debut, his first year as a head coach in the Big East. Chris Mullen has the Johnnies rolling with Shamori Pons, putting up numbers that are electrifying and impressive wins as well when you look at knocking off a Villanova, knocking off a Duke. And at this point, St. John's will be the sleeper pick, really the favorite sleeper pick when it comes to Big East tournament because they'll be playing on their home court. So top to bottom, just impressive basketball across the board.
The bottom of the league has really turned the conference upside down here the past week or two. Do you think that has to do with that double round robin schedule? Being a former coach in this league, when you get that second go around against a team?
I think that does lead to really competitive games. I also think when you get to February, because of the double round robin and just the nature of competitive basketball, what happens is the nerves get frayed, people are fatigued, and there's so much at stake. And so as a result, I call it the dog days of February. You also start to get some injuries because of that fatigue. And so when you play someone is sometimes more important than who you're playing. Catching teams at the right time is why you'll sometimes see some unexpected scores or some upsets. But again, that's what makes college basketball so unique. Is you're dealing with 18 to 22-year-olds. And as they say, it's very cliche, it's coach speak, but we've seen it play out on any given day. A team gets hot, and Shamori Pons is an example. St. John's could be anyone in the country. And it's not just Shamori Pons, it's also Marvin Clark, the transfer from Michigan State. His approach, and Justin Simon is putting up big numbers, near triple doubles in some recent games. Tariq Owens, long, runs like a deer. He's been very productive as well. So this St. John's team could end up winning the Big East tournament. I don't think it would shock anybody.
Wow, Coach Lavin coming in hot.
Well, in the Garden, a packed MSG, and the magic of Louis Carnesecca in the stands and having as impressive a guard as there is in the country. And then these other pieces, the transfers in Clark and Simon, put St. John's in a unique position. They've tightened their rotation. They're really only going 5, 6 deep, and that's led to a more cohesive team playing with a better rhythm and flow, and no one's going to want to play St. John's come Big East tournament.
That cohesive unit certainly works out for a lot of teams, including the Villanova Wildcats and the third-ranked Cats. Travel to the Cintas Center Saturday on Fox, 4:30 Eastern tip time when they take on number 4 Xavier. Coach Lav, what are you zoning in on with this matchup between these two heavyweights?
Well, it's interesting that you use zoning in because Xavier's 1-3-1 matchup zone, which gives so many different looks in terms of different rotations, and they can extend it or they can collapse it, much like a Venus flytrap or an accordion. And Chris Mack makes nice adjustments over the course of the game, not just half to half, but even from timeout to timeout. This Musketeer team has the best 8 of any team in the country. Really, they're 9 deep once Ty Jones gets back into the mix. And I think that's their big edge, not only in the Big East, but if they make a deep run and win a national title, it'll be a result of those 9 players collectively or cumulatively wearing teams down. And also with that depth, it gives the Musketeers the ability to play different ways and at different tempos. I think Villanova, because they're a little shorthanded, a little banged up, some players will be coming back, but they're not going to have a full complement of players. Jay Wright, as good as anybody, at offsetting and managing the challenging stretches in a season. But I think Xavier in this game has the edge because of their depth.
When you think about this conference full of stars, who are Coach Lavin's pepper pops around the Big East?
Well, that's a good question. We traditionally think of pepper pots, scrappers, like middle infielders in baseball. We think of them as being smaller and diminutive in size. But I like Sean O'Mara. In a way, he's a large pepper pot in terms of the toughness, the energy. And I just think his story, his maturation is really impressive. Early in the year, a season ago, he was a reserve that really didn't get much love or any minutes. But by the end of the year, because of injuries, a result of the attrition factor, before Xavier went on that Elite Eight run, all of a sudden, there was a new group of contributors or players that really made a difference in those impressive NCAA tournament victories. So I'll go with Sean O'Mara as a large pepper pot.
A lot of love in the air across college basketball, led by Coach Lavin. Coach, thanks so much for your time.
Always a pleasure, John. Talk soon.